authorizing the principal terms and conditions of a master development agreement and certain other agreements to be executed by the parties.
I think we've been waiting a while. Brent, you want to kick us off?
I can do it. I will be brief. City Manager.
Whoa, whoa.
Yes.
We want it all. We don't want
You want the
Don't
full
leave anything in.
Okay.
We've waited too long.
Fantastic.
Give us the whole load.
Well, it is a pleasure to be here and a pleasure to have this day now before us. I am speaking today on behalf of the Enid Regional Development Alliance and on behalf of Ricky Hayes and Retail Attractions, because we've worked very closely with Ricky throughout this whole process on the development of the downtown hotel. A little bit of a history that has brought us up to this point. As everybody will remember, we went through an RFP process 3 years ago, and at that point, Lodgewell was selected as developer for downtown. We worked with them for a few years trying to get the project financed. And at the beginning of March of 2015 is whenever their contract officially expired, development contract with building the hotel downtown. Starting about 8 a.m. on March the 7th, we began working with other developers throughout the region to look for somebody to develop that wonderful piece of property down next to the event center and convention hall. I will say, whenever we started the process with the RFP 3 years ago, we were trying to sell a dream of a coming event center and a renovated convention hall. And at that point, it required quite a bit of incentives in order to even get Lodgewell to come to the table. Once we were able to show the dream to developers, we had 12 real developers that we began interacting with. And we spent about 30 days working with them, asking them what it would take in order to make the deal happen. And through consultation with Ricky and with city staff, we determined there were really 3 developers that made the most sense for what we were looking for in downtown Enid. We brought each of those 3 developers to you in executive session. You got to interact with them and hear a little bit about their companies and what they could bring to the table. And after consultation with you and with city staff and with Ricky, we determined that we would like to present to you our recommendation of Peachtree Hotel Group, which is headquartered out of Atlanta. Our reason for doing so is, there were multiple reasons. One, they are a nationwide developer. They have been in this business for a while. They are very well financed and are certainly not a startup. They're somebody that's going to be around for a while to come. We were impressed with the equity that they were going to be bringing to the table, their access to debt capital as well, and their history of being able to finance projects, and also the quality of the projects that they had developed around the United States. We've had a very close interaction with Hilton, the corporation of Hilton, and in fact, Commissioner Wilson and I were able to meet with their representative from this area at the retail conference this year, and one thing they told us is Peachtree Hotel Group is one of their top partners in the United States. We have been working for the last 2 months to develop a term sheet, which is what you'll be voting on this evening. I think you've had an opportunity to see most of those tenants that are in the term sheet. But the bottom line for the incentive package in order to put this thing together is that we will be asking you to provide land to them at basically $1 to transfer the land to them, a loan that is subordinate to their senior debt, and then a sales tax reimbursement agreement. There's a lot of whereases and therefores that make all of that happen, but those are the 3 major tenets of the agreement. We're so fortunate that some of the members of the leadership team are here this evening. I'd like to introduce Matul Patel, who is the Chief Operating Officer for Peachtree Hotel Group, and he'll tell you a little bit of information about Peachtree.
Thank you. Hello.
You don't have a time clock.
Don't? Okay. I might need my bottle of water, though. I've had some fighting a little bit of a head cold, but as Brent stated, I'm Matul Patel, one of the principals of Peachtree Hotel Group. There's two other principals, Greg Friedman, the CEO, and Jatin Desai, the Chief Investment Officer, CIO. Those two weren't able to join us today, but I brought with me Kevin Caden, who's our general counsel, if you want to just wave, and Ben Garrett with Ray Lynn, who's our general contractor on our development projects. To give you a little bit of background behind Peachtree, we're an investment platform, and we have four sides to our shop. So we invest in hotels, we finance hotels, we operate hotels, and we also develop and acquire hotels. So we buy, we build, we offer loans, and we operate. This graph just shows what we've done since '09 through the downturn and how we grew our company. It was primarily through acquisitions, but even through the downturn, we were able to secure financing. We built probably 1 to 2 properties a year. We generally have 1 to 2 under construction at any given moment. Right now, we've got a pipeline of about 6 to 8 properties that we're building. 3 of them Hilton Garden Inns. One of them is the proposed project here in Enid. This is a map showing our current portfolio. We're located primarily in the southeast, but we've got 1 asset in downtown San Antonio. We've got another new development opportunity, which is another Hilton Garden Inn in San Antonio, Texas, as well. But we've got assets in California and Arizona that we finance, so we are nationwide in terms of footprint. Here's some pictures of hotels that we have in terms of best-in-class type. Upper mid-scale is the segment that we're targeting when we do any kind of hotel ownership or development pieces. The top left is a Hyatt Place in Jacksonville that we've sold. The bottom left is a Hotel Indigo at the Atlanta airport. On the bottom right's a Spring Hill in downtown San Antonio, Texas, and that's by Marriott. And on the top right is our Crown Plaza in Charleston, South Carolina. So if you're ever visiting any of these cities or towns, we welcome you to tour our hotels and meet our team. In terms of the Hilton Garden Inn brand, we've got 2 properties. We've got one in Tupelo, Mississippi, that's actually located next to their Civic Center, much like yours. It's 158 rooms. We had purchased it about 2 years ago, performed a $1.8 million rehab renovation of all the guest rooms and public space. Same kind of story with the Hilton Garden Inn in Overland Park, Kansas. We bought that about a year ago, did about a $2.5 million full rehab of that hotel, and both have turned out really well. We've also built a Hilton Garden Inn and sold it, which was in Indianapolis, so it doesn't make our list. In terms of our hotel operating company, we operate about 30 hotels. We're familiar with all the major brands, but a bulk, probably 75% of our portfolio is Hilton and Marriott branded hotels. All of our hotels meet or actually exceed their benchmark in terms of guest quality, guest satisfaction, and most of them are in the top 25% of their brand. But this is a list of all the brands we operate and then the city states that they're located in. So we've got stuff above a Hilton Garden Inn like an Embassy Suites, Sheraton, and Crown Plaza. A little bit about us, our 4 pillars, our guests, our financial partners, our communities, and our team members. We developed a program called our CARE Committee, which stands for Community, Attitude, Respect, and Empowerment. They conduct, any kind of local, any kind of local events like Habitat for Humanity. Clean the World's more of a national program where we cycle a lot of the soaps and shampoos to be used, I think, in other countries. In terms of our public-private experience, we're doing a deal in Starkville, Mississippi, and I'm not sure if you can read all the fine print, but we took the old cotton mill located next to Mississippi State University in Starkville. We performed a $15 million rehab in conjunction with the National Park Service to make it what we call now the Cooley Center. So it's a mixed-use office and conference space. And the city of Starkville provided a 3-story parking garage, and then we built a brand-new courtyard by Marriott, which is under construction, scheduled to open in about 2 months, adjacent to it. And it became a pretty nice little enclave right across the street from Mississippi State University. Here's some pictures of the conference center and the banquet facility of that. Our operating team is led by about 20 people. We've also got a development team who's led by Lee Schumann, who's our Director of Project Management. We've got centralized accounting, sales and marketing, e-commerce, revenue management, HR. So all the above property services we're able to deliver to our hotels. If you ask any of our brand partners, as Brent mentioned, they'll tell you that we are a preferred developer, a preferred partner with those brands. But that's Peachtree in a nutshell.
Just a couple of other quick statements. As we went through the process developing the term sheet and the definitive documents that you'll get to vote on over the next several months, we worked with, of course, Andrea Springer, and then also with McAfee and Taft, Chisholm, excuse me, stuck in the past. But McAfee and Taft and Cheryl Denny in particular helped us to do all of that legal work. I wanted to also mention that our original contact with Peachtree came through a gentleman named Dave Mashburn, who was at one point involved with the Lodgewell project, and I think that gets lost in our story sometimes, that he's the one that first suggested to us that he thought Peachtree might be a good fit for Enid. And then the last thing I'll mention is we have had Peachtree in town all day today, meeting with city staff to talk about construction timelines. Also have met with legal staff to make sure everything is good on the legal side, and also spent some time this evening with Main Street Enid, and they'll be interacting a lot with Main Street over the next several months as we work on the architectural design of the facility as well as the facade. Mr. Mayor, I believe that's all that we've got. If you've got any questions, we'd love to answer them.
If they
Anything
have a
specific about the term sheet?
presentation about,
That was it.
other than that,
That was it, but Matilda.
One thing, Brent, you might tell them a little bit about what the timeline is that we're looking at as far as design and construction and possibly even getting the hotel open.
I can certainly do that. As soon as I can find the page.
2.
Is it on page 2? Yes, you're right, timeline at the bottom. Yes, of course, executing the term sheet today and executing definitive documents by the 15th of September. Civil site investigation by middle of September also, the schematic layout and program by the middle of September. They'll be working toward getting their franchise approval by 1st of October. Civil design will also be done in early October. The final franchise agreement would be done in the middle of November, and architectural drawings, which is a big date for us, in the middle of December. I won't go through all of them, but the big 2 dates are commencing construction in the middle of May of 2016 and hotel opening in the middle of August 2017. Any other questions?
I would make a motion that we approve the term sheet with one correction to correct the legal description as reading lots 1 and 2, replat of Block 32, original town site of Enid.
Second.
motion by Ben, second by Tammy. Further discussion?
I think we could applaud everybody involved, Mayor.
Do too.
Thank you
Yes.
to the.
Absolutely.
That wasn't a motion, but that was well earned. We appreciate what you all have done, attorneys, Peachtree, to get everybody. I knew it wasn't gonna take 2 weeks, but it took about 6, and some of you had to burn some midnight oil on both sides, and we appreciate it. Something we need, want. We thank you.
Let's vote.
We have a motion, we have a second. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 7-0.
I move to adjourn.
We have a motion to adjourn,
Second.
second by Rodney, motion by Ben. Please cast your vote. Motion carries 5-2. We are adjourned.
Thank you for joining us for the Enid City Commission meeting. If you have any questions or comments, visit our website at enid.org.